let's start with you. Let's talk some Apple and kind of get that out of the way. You like what's going on with the stock here? Look, the revenue's barely budged in 2 years.
Yeah, Kelly, thanks for having me. Look, when you look at Apple, I think the three key things that you learned coming out of this earnings season was the fact that, one, Apple Intelligence is starting to move the needle. It's barely, but it's still starting to move the needle on upgrades. The second thing is that the install base of devices has reached a record now of 2.35 billion units. I mean, that's a massive number, which they're going to monetize on top using services and additional add-on products. And the last thing is gross margins, right? Like, you just had a stupendous quarter of gross margins, and embedded within their guide is actually a huge hit of 70 basis points sequentially from a gross margin standpoint. So when you put those three things together, you understand that this company is built for earnings resiliency. Yes. You just have so much of momentum from services on top of this install base that keeps those earnings estimates stable despite any shortfall that you might see from iPhones.
And the buybacks, of course, which rival, the market caps of many large companies in size in recent years. Wamsi, you say, and I'd like to pivot now and kind of talk about this bigger DeepSeek issue. You see a lot of opportunities in the hardware space because of DeepSeek, and I'd love to just hear more about that.
Yeah, absolutely, Kelly. Look, I mean, it's so interesting to see that now you have models that potentially could be trained on top of already existing large language models for a fraction of the cost. And what does that really mean? It means that the cost of inference is actually coming down. And when we look at companies, we think, what is the big step function change that can be generated because of that? And that's really AI at the edge. And whether it be infrastructure companies or whether it be companies like Apple that have provide devices at the edge, we think that the opportunity meaningfully increases because the amount of productivity that you can bring to your device now, it doesn't need like incrementally a ton more hardware. You can run these languages on very light amount of hardware, and that just brings an immense amount of productivity to you in your pocket. So the way we think about Apple as an investment is it's the LLM in your pocket, right? You have the ability to now run extremely sophisticated models on your iPhone. And that, I think, just opens up all kinds of use cases for clients. And then secondarily, when you think about edge devices, same thing applies for Mac and iPads, which Apple participates in, and PCs more broadly, right? But we think that the first end device to really adopt this would be smartphones because that's kind of what we use the most.
Yeah. So Corning, Western Digital, Seagate, these are all names that you think could be buying opportunities. And also I want to mention HPE. What is going on with them potentially blocking this HPE Juniper deal? Is that out of the new Trump administration?
Well, I think that there is a lot of moving pieces over here, and it's still obviously the DOJ has filed a suit against for blocking this merger at the time being. Now, when we think about HPE as an investment, I think that there's a lot of things that can be done aside from this Juniper deal. When we look at HPE, there's a tremendous amount of cost that can be taken out. We think that the company could earn north of $2.20 just purely from its own cost initiatives that they're taking. And we're in a server replacement cycle as well. So there are a lot of fundamental things that are going on aside from the Juniper deal that make HPE a good investment as well. The Juniper deal is still a little bit in limbo, and we'll see where that goes over time. And if it does close, then obviously that creates additional opportunities for the company as well.
Yeah, it's kind of I would almost say a contrarian kind of argument on a day like this. Glad to have it. Wamsi, thanks for joining us, I should say. Appreciate it. Wamsi Mohan with Bank of America.